For the last month and a half, I have been trying to buy my very favorite sweet chili sauce at the supermarket. And no matter what supermarket I've gone to, they haven't had any stock of sweet chili sauce. So this has made me decide to try and make my very own Thai sweet chili sauce. For this recipe, you're going to use your blender, and you are going to have about 3/4 of a cup of white vinegar. I've got pure rice vinegar, which I think is probably actually maybe better than the white vinegar, but you would use vinegar. You need to have about 1 tablespoon of maizena or cornflour starch, which you'll use to thicken in the end. And you remember, you never add this straight into your mixture you're making. You will first put this into about a cup with about, I'd say about 3 tablespoons of water to your 1 tablespoon of maizena. Mix it to a paste before you add it. You're going to need to have 1 cup of sugar, 1/3 of a cup of water. You're going to have 1.5 teaspoons of, oh, where's the front? Salt. Okay, I'm using Himalayan salt. And then you're going to have a pepper or capsicum that you can chop up a little bit smaller before putting it into your blender. And I'm going to be using 4 chilies because I like it quite strong. I'm also going to be adding in some garlic cloves, which I've forgotten to put here, so I must go and fetch them, and this amount of ginger, because ginger is good for you and I like ginger. And here there are my fairly large 6 garlic cloves that I'm going to put into the blender as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to chop these into slightly smaller pieces, stick it all in your blender with the 1/3 of a cup of water. You're not going to add in the vinegar, the maizena and the sugar yet. Keep that aside. So it's just going to basically be your fresh ingredients with the water you're going to put inside the blender. I'm now going to zhuzh this all together and we'll see how it goes. I've never made my own Thai sweet chili sauce. This is something that I became quite addicted to on some of my travels to Thailand. So I've chopped everything into sort of smaller pieces. I haven't videoed myself chopping them because I think that would just be tedious to watch, but here goes. That literally took about 10 seconds. Now I'm not going to make it finer than that because I still want to have like little chunks. So my next step now is going to be to put that in. I've got like a wok that I'm going to make this in. I'm going to empty that out into a wok, and then I'm going to add in the 1 cup of sugar, the 3/4 of a cup of white vinegar, and the 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And I'm going to put that on to cook, and we're going to see what's going to happen then. So I've emptied out the fresh ingredient mixture from my blender into this wok. You can see there's still quite a bit of liquid with it, and that's okay because you need that for things to start cooking away. I have the 1 cup of sugar with my 1.5 teaspoons of pink Himalayan salt, and then I'm adding that into this mixture. I'm now adding in the 3/4 of a cup of rice wine vinegar that I've got, or rice vinegar. And I'm going to stir this around, and then I'm going to bring it to the boil. And once I've brought it to the boil, I'm going to reduce the heat and let it simmer for 5 minutes. And we'll see what it looks like then. You can use apple cider vinegar or normal white wine vinegar. Any vinegar that you've got in your cupboard. I'm just waiting for this to come to the boil so then I can let it simmer. And if this all goes according to plan, it's far faster and quicker and easier to make your own than it is to go to a supermarket to try and find some in stock. This is boiling merrily, so I'm going to turn the heat down so that it can simmer for 5 minutes. And then I will add in the cornstarch to thicken it. Oh, well, this is a lovely colour. Look at it, proper chunks in it. Love it. That's looking good. Time to add in this maizena. I've added a little bit of water. You can see that it's now like the consistency of milk. If you do it like this, you're not going to have lumps. Right, let me try and do this with one hand holding the camera. Right, so that's in, and I'm going to stir it in, and it should start to thicken up a little bit. I don't want it too thick. This is looking amazing. I can't believe how easy it is to make my own sauce. And here I've been waiting a whole month and a half for the supermarket to get it in. Look at that. Okay, so it's going to thicken up a little bit now. And I suppose it's time for a little taste. That is spectacular. It's taking me right back to Thailand. I could be standing on a beach in Hua Hin or Cha Am right now. I swear. Definitely better than anything in the shops. I will never buy the commercially made sweet chili sauce again. You can see what a great consistency it is. It's now time to put this into a jar and let the jar cool down. Well, first seal the jar, let it cool down, and then keep it in the fridge for when you're wanting the best ever Thai chili sauce, sweet chili sauce. And here it is in the jar, ready to cool down before putting in the fridge. Best ever homemade chili sauce. The recipe is in the description below, and if you could like and comment on my video, that always helps. And if you can subscribe to my channel, that will make this the best ever Mother's Day. Have a good one, and I'll see you on my next adventure.